In the last episode, I talked about some challenges we're facing. And in this episode, I want to talk about the progress and show you the progress that we made to getting this house ready to have guests in the house, but also in the garden, and also a very adventurous attempt at getting our 3 new stoves to the places where they're supposed to be. Unfortunately, after all the hassle with food poisoning and the moving and so on, we arrived here at the house and caught COVID, or some of us did. 3 kids were sick. I was also sick for a couple of days, although the tests were negative, but it kept us from really settling in. And also was a bit sad because we had a family visit and we couldn't do as much stuff with those people as we had wished for. But now let's see what we've been up to the last week and the progress we've been making. The first thing we needed to do was to get internet. Because of all the trees we have, already at Easter we had tried to get a company here to see if we could get fiberglass, but unfortunately it would only be possible if they cut down some of the large trees, and we really don't want that. The only other option is very, very expensive to go through the ground. So in the end we just got a Starlink and put it on the roof, preliminary. We're gonna do a proper install later, but we needed internet. So we put this up and it actually works pretty good. Then we got to work on the garden. In this area, we want a space for campers and tents, and it's not only very long grass, but there's also a lot of small trees that have been growing. So first project is to get all of this out before we can go ahead and mow it in any way. So I'm gonna send the kids in to rip out these trees. So as you can see, the trees are taller than the kids, but nonetheless they got many of the trees out, and we helped a little and then went in with a lawnmower where the trees had been removed. However, at some point we realized, okay, we gotta get some more heavy machinery, and did the rest with that machine. Now we actually have an area that's really nice for the campers, and the whole atmosphere in this upper part of the property is actually a little bit like a small campsite on its own. We think that we can easily have 2, 3, even 4 parties stay here. There's electricity and water, and it's a really nice place to be. Unfortunately, because of COVID, our guests didn't stay very long, but that's just the way it is. So for obvious reasons, we want our dishwasher to work as fast as possible. And we got a dishwasher that we got specifically for the kitchen that we're gonna build this autumn. So it's a dishwasher that doesn't stand freely, but works with a kitchen where it's included in between other cupboards. And nonetheless, we want a dishwasher right now and use it, and let me just show you the problems that we faced and why it's a really bad idea to use a dishwasher that's not freestanding as a freestanding dishwasher. You can pull it open, but then when it's down, it just slams back up. And so you think, oh well, I'll just hold it down, get the stuff out, but then you get some of the stuff out, you push this back, and zack. And then if you even hold on to this, like my wife did, then this door will slam here, and the thumb will get slammed into it. And the other main danger is that if you're not careful, say you have this out with all of the weight, and then you pull this out because you want to get to the glasses, the whole thing tips over, which has also happened to my son, and then all the glasses are broken. So I just want to share this disaster because I think it's a good learning to always be careful to use stuff that's not really designed for this usage. So what I'm gonna do now, as one of the highest priorities, is to make a top connected to the wall that it can't fall over anymore, and to make a front. And as with so many things, I don't want to spend too much money on materials that we're gonna take apart anyway in a couple of months when we put it into the real kitchen. So I'm just gonna use an old cupboard that we actually bought for this, but that doesn't fit it, but has enough material to give me a front and a top. And that's what I'm gonna do now. So the dishwasher comes with a template, and I can just tape this onto a piece of wood, and then I can make all the holes for the attachments. So I have a festival track saw, which would be perfect for this, but it's much easier to do it with a small saw. And I've got this from Bosch, and it has an attachment. And then you can use it with the track from the festival saw. So for small works, it's really convenient. So I need to find a handle, actually. I don't have one. We'll see if there's something I can use as a handle here in the workshop. So I think I found a handle. We have this super ugly and broken cabinet. Okay, fertig. When we bought the house, former owners left us some furniture. A couple of tables, some chairs, a bed, and one or two cupboards. Eventually, we really want to have furniture that suits the style of this house. But for the year that we're here, we really just now need things to work with, to use. And so sometimes we get something that we really think suits the house in the long term, but often it's also just about getting stuff to use right now. So here we got the sofa, which was a bit of a challenge because our trailer is very small. We just got it in, and that's very often the case that we just manage to get stuff in. It's 2 meters long and a little over a meter wide, so yeah, we can get stuff with it, but not everything. Sometimes we also need to put things on the car. We've also tried to find shops that sell second-hand furniture. However, so far we have only found shops that really sell very specific furniture for very high prices. So that's not really an option for us. Okay, we're facing a major problem here. This room we wanted to get ready for our workaways to stay in, and the mold on the wall is a bigger problem than we thought. It's not really fresh mold, it's a bit old. On the ceiling it was very easy to wash it off, and it just came off, and that's okay. But here on the wall, the problem is that there's a kind of color that was put on, and the mold sits in this color. And the only way to get rid of it is to scrape off this color, which we did in a lot of parts where the mold was. But we are realizing that this takes a lot of time. And obviously the spores of the mold, if that's the right word, are still in this room and in the air, and that's not very healthy, to say the least. And another problem is that this room basically has no ventilation at all. When it's a future kitchen, it will have 2 large openings to the terrace and to the other room, so it won't be a long-term problem, I'm pretty sure. And it hasn't been a problem when there was people living here, heating, etc. But for now, it's really difficult to get this ventilated. We only have this very small window, so you have no cross ventilation, and it's very difficult to make this a safe space to live in. So we dropped this idea to have people stay here, and instead we'll wait to work on this room until we have the permission with the openings. Then we get the openings, then we have the airflow. If we have heating by the time, then we can get this warm and dry. It just doesn't make sense to try and make this a place to stay right now.
Okay.
This video is already pretty long, but the final challenge I want to show you is how we got our wood stoves into the house. And we did this while having our family visit, because that was the time when we were most people and had the most man and woman power at hand.
Der kommt für der Sache rührt.
Okay.
Perfect.
Looks like R2-D2.
Star Wars.
You will
Yeah.
sleep well tonight.
It looks great, actually. Super.
We ended those 2 weeks of getting ready with getting the room ready for the workaways. And the end of this week also marked the end of our summer holidays. We went to the beach to celebrate with ice cream and a sunset. Starting school this year will be such a different experience. Probably our hardest day of this whole year. We've had kids changing school and starting new, but not in a different country and not all 4 at the same time. We'll also have volunteers come and help us for the first time. So, I guess we'll make a lot of new experiences in the next week and have something to talk about in the next episode. I hope you liked this episode. Have a good time. See you soon. Au revoir.